Today, we're going to be meeting Henry James. We're going to be talking about the markets. We're going to be analyzing the markets. And you can tell us a little bit about your story. So, how's it going, Henry? What's up?
It's going real good. I was nervous before coming on here, but honestly, I'm pretty excited just to have, just market chat here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always a good time.
Tell us about yourself. Like, what's your trading journey like? We were talking before we started this live. You were talking about how you got involved in the markets during C19, I like to call it, for YouTube.
Yeah, yeah, that was a crazy time, dude. I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. It was back. What actually got me into the market is it was real estate. I was saving up for, that was pretty much my path. I'd preparing for that for, I want to say about 6 months. Just literally not only saving up for the down payment, but just just involving myself in the real estate world. I would I would go to FISBOs and stuff like that. I would literally just call people up and then start asking about the property, just so I could set up potential deals and stuff like that. And so yeah, that was the goal. Literally was not in the stock market at all. And then at that time, I had been just dollar cost averaging into it was called V00 or VOO. It's the Vanguard SPY ETF.
Yep.
So I was dollar cost averaging into that, and then I remember I thought I was doing great. I think I had about 5K in that, and then we saw the COVID, the 2020 dive, and I was like, crap. I was like, I shouldn't have been, listening to the people around me about just dollar cost averaging, because I had, I had some money on the side, but it wasn't for that. So then I did end up seeing the crash, and I was a little sad about that, and I did end up, I was like, okay, this is a once-in-a-life opportunity. We don't get crashes a lot. I wish I saw that, was thinking like that last year, 2020, like, everyone thought the market was going to die. It did not end up dying. It fully recovered. Yeah, I wish I was, remembering, crashes are once-in-a-lifetime opportunities. They really are. If you're just, a long investor, you just, hey, load up your shares. Those are your times. So I had pretty much just started analyzing, like, fundamentally, every single stock that I could see that got just beaten down. We're talking airlines, cruise lines, just anything that I would think would take a hit. And I ended up finding Carnival Cruise Lines just being heavily undervalued.
Oh, CCL. Nice.
Yeah, CCL. So that was it was my first share play, but it was also what got me, I would say, what got me into the options game. And then what got me addicted to the option games was, 2021 came around and we saw some crazy action over there. But yeah, I ended up, I remember being pissed at the time because my friends, they were just doing short-term options, and I had taken out 2-year leaps on Carnival Cruise Lines, and I had to wait like months to get I think it was like a 70% gain. And I ended up, it was good, but I had seen my friends, I had one friend, he turned like 1,000 into it was about 30K.
Wow.
And I was like, no way you just gambled. And I had to sit here doing all this work behind the scenes and then just waited on it. And that happened. And I was like, okay, there's something else to this whole game that I'm just completely not seeing. And that's what really got me into the stock market, I would say, as a whole, was just knowing that, holy crap, my friend just made a crap ton of money. I had two friends, Dave and Steve at that time, and we kind of, we all talked about, fundamentals and stuff like that. We were just all into, growing money. But they had done that, and I had literally looked at options as straight-up gambling, and until that point, I was like, okay, now I see what they're talking about.
Yeah.
But that was really what ended up getting me into options, and then the market in general, and then got me into options. That was the start, and then there was 2021, and I want to say it was January 2021. We had all the small caps. If you were in the market, everybody saw what was going on back there. If I could share my screen, I'd show you, Palantir, ChargePoint,
if you want.
Skills.
I can also.
Yeah, let me.
I know exactly what you're talking about, though. The 2021 market, the small caps and mid caps were hot. Large caps were flying. You could buy Tesla calls, and in a few minutes you'd be up a couple $100.
That's what I'm saying. These guys would literally buy in stuff. Let me just see if I can pull them up, guys. We haven't seen a market.
Yeah,
can you see my screen right now?
Yeah, it looks great.
Okay. Yeah, I remember. So you guys all saw this thing die. Well, before this thing had a bunch of splits, it does look like. Yeah, we ended up. This was one of the tickers that they ended up playing. There was Charge Point. There was the thing that actually got me. I would say I fell in love with this company right here, Palantir. If anybody is, if anybody was here on my channel for the first, we're gonna say 700 subscribers, then you know it was a Palantir channel. We literally fundamentally covered Palantir this whole time because at that point, again, I was still in the mentality that hey, it doesn't really matter too much about the charts. It is what's behind the company. And again, I was telling everybody I knew, I was like, guys, leave some Palantir, leave some. It never ended up working out. As you guys say, it just completely kept dying. But that was the market we were in. Like this has never came back since then.
Yeah,
and
sometimes things, they can get overhyped a little bit, in the short term, but Palantir is a really good trading stock. The options, nice and liquid.
Yeah.
And quick fun fact, one of my best YouTube videos actually is on Palantir 2 years ago. So I was kind of a Palantir channel as well at that time.
Oh, dude, there's a Palantir army. I think they used to call them Palantirians. 100%. So I used to do fundamental analysis just on stocks. That was literally, I used to show my face. I used to have a full breakdown of, of these, companies and stuff like that. And I was not building any traction on it. And then I started covering Palantir. And it was just, every video was just, more and more people. It's like, okay.
Algorithm, that's for sure. It was good.
Yeah. Oh, the algorithm is algorithm's crazy. Up until we'll say literally the past few months, I have not had any luck with the algorithm. Algo is now pumping.
You're doing very well on YouTube. You're getting really good views. You're growing. You're consistent. I think people really like that. That's what I really liked, and that's why I reached out to you. I was like, hey, you want to do a little talk?
Yeah, this is cool. I had no idea, people were actually watching. I mean, I know, people, but other, creators out there. I actually had I got over on Twitter. There was that guy Heisenberg. He has like 100K subs. So or followers. He ended up telling me he liked my stuff. That he followed me. I was like, oh, that's the first proof of concept I've seen there. It's like, I'll just keep going there.
Work each and every day, and you'll get better and better too over time. And then everything compounds. And that's what's cool about YouTube. That's what's cool about trading is it compounds over the years, the skills. It's not like other.
Yeah, I talk about the skill set too much. It's like really all it is, though. I mean, if you're not going to be able to replicate it, then there's like no point in, like, obviously, short-term quick money. It's going to be great. Yeah. All right, you're going to, feel good, and it's going to load your pockets. And, if you take a step back, it'll load your pockets for a long time. Yeah. But, in the end, the skill set is literally the only thing that's going to matter. Just being able to replicate this over, the rest of your life, pretty much. And that is what I think most people are, like, in the stock market, or at least chasing the stock market for, or entering, is that the freedom aspect of it. Yeah. That's what,
I completely agree. The freedom aspect and all that good stuff. But right now, I see a chart of the Qs right now, and we should do some TA on the Qs because earlier, in a lot of your videos, you like to say it's a trappy market, and I couldn't agree more. But to somebody who doesn't know what you mean by that, explain to them, what do you mean by a trappy market? Is it the gaps? Is it the false breakouts? Is it the levels? Is it like the...
we're talking all of the above of what you just said. So yeah, we already talked about this. I know you know what we're talking about, but for example, right here, right? This to me, this looks very clean, all right? Which is why in my video yesterday, I made the thumbnail. I saw this, I was like, watch out, like, for shorts. And it's strictly because you were holding exactly when I was recording the video yesterday. I think it was during this candlestick right here, this hammer. You were holding exactly where you need to hold. So I do watch things level by level. So as you can see, I got zones, I got, support and resistance lines here. And like you get, this is exactly the trap I'm talking about. Oh, false breakout to a new high, come all the way back down. Now you're left trendless. So even though you had a higher high over here, you took out the low over here. So that means this was a complete bull trap, but then you took out this low, and you came back and took out this high, which validates that as a freaking bear trap. Like, it's, going everywhere. It's, that is, in a nutshell, this is the trap I would be talking about. But I would say, right up here, we haven't been in a trappy market. It's literally just been the past, what is this, like 2-3 weeks? Oh, actually, this has been like a month.
Yeah,
Look at this.
I would say that's pretty trappy because of the broadening formations, higher highs and lower lows. Because the people looking for trends, they establish their swing positions, and they're like, oh, well, guess we're going the other way now.
Dude, that's been exactly me on this pullback. I just, I had a bunch of names that I wanted to buy into, and it was literally like I'm just gonna do like China in general. I mean, China has crapped the bed. Yeah, I'm not even gonna bring up China.
China tried to hold support. Like the setup was there, but the support levels just kept breaking, and that was the same with Tesla. Tesla, by the way, I was able to watch one of your videos, and I liked the Tesla breakout, the initial Tesla breakout. So that. But lately, I've been buying puts on Tesla and shorting it as it's crushing those supports. So 235 was kind of that critical breakdown level. But really trappy, just kind of giving up right after making a nice, good pattern,
Yeah, this honestly, like when I say a trappy market, I don't even want to talk about this, but I will say, Tesla had a glorious looking, I think it was on the weekly time frame, you can literally see. Yeah, I mean, you had it was setting up to, just be a giant bull flag, and then look at that, you have the inverse head and shoulders. I got a messy Tesla chart right here. But yeah, in general, these indices, like what we were just talking about, that is where the big traps have been, because anybody looking for trends, you have been trendless for a very long time, like a month. Yeah. That is, we got to go all the way back. I think it was over. I remember this. Yeah. So we had 2 months, and this was your last trappy market, which, lasted for 2 months. So
and then it eventually broke out and then retested that former breakout area on the weekly. Now we're spiking through the highs, but you also have bearish divergences on different time frames, and so it's really interesting.
Well, yeah, this right here, this is something that I just remember a lot of people just calling for, the end of the world over here. And guys, anytime you see it, it's like, 99% of the time, you're not going to get a crash. You're going to get the retracement, and then you're going to carry on. Which is exactly what happened. You could literally take, I know, I'm not going to say I know the math behind these Fibonacci levels, but I could definitely tell you it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Yeah. With, with how many people are watching this. It literally, you found buyers exactly at the 0.618. That's the beginning of your golden pocket, as well as, you come over here. This is what you were just saying, where you broke out from. The confluence was ridiculous down here, and you had people shorting the hole. I don't know.
So looking at the market right now, what is your kind of forecast? So like what I see right now is like it's more so like levels. Like, okay, if we start to take out, let's say SPY 478, we're probably going to see more all-time highs. We could chop in this zone a little bit, and I think if SPY breaks underneath something like 470, we could see 460 in a few weeks or months.
Yeah, I mean, I do think 460 is coming, just because like you can literally see you have you're building out these divergences, and I didn't notice it until, this last pop over here. Like I knew we had the bearish divergence going on over here. That's what I'm saying about the, people are looking for the sell, probably the same exact thing I'm looking at. And then boom, you pop right back up and make a new high. So not only are you doing it over here, but you're doing it, you just continue on here. As of right now, it does look like you're making a higher high here. I am watching things level by level. I want to see over here break just so we could take a, come down and sweep these lows. Yeah. But as you see, bulls held exactly where they need to. And if you add another level of, or another area, I guess we could say, of confluence, guys, you've literally held the golden pocket. This, I got to say, is my favorite setup. It's just, when I see the golden pocket, you can see it absolutely everywhere. We could look at it any time frame.
Like 38.2 retracement on the Fibonacci? 38.2 or just like... Because that's the retracement level, right? Okay.
Yeah, so the golden pocket is literally just the 0.618 to the 0.786. I just, at this point, took out all of the other Fibonacci, levels there because it's the only thing I have an interest in playing. But, let me just let me point out some examples here on how anybody could have been using these. Yeah. Come over here. Daily time frame. All right, so I remember, this is the swings that I'm looking for, and you're not getting at all. So we're gonna see if we're gonna see where you stall out up here. We're gonna have to see about that. But you come over here, and you can use these on literally any time frame. This is why I would say this is my This is, I want to say this is the favorite setup. It really is as simple as that. The golden pocket, if you get as close as this 0.6 or the 0.786 up here, if you take that out, you're probably going to have 100% retracement. So if you're shorting up here, this is going to be your stop. You're going to, get some puts 2 weeks out or something like that. All right. So in this case, we literally got this short to the exact top. I think over here, I started laddering over here. And then, your risk from that point is absolutely, your risk reward is ridiculous because, you literally can take a 10% haircut on short dated contracts, and then you're risking, hundreds of percents here, or that's the reward. Yeah. But you can literally just keep running it back here. I took a level there. They're everywhere. They're absolutely everywhere. Definitely. You literally just see like on the retracement of the retracement.
Yeah, you can get this on a 1 minute, 5 minute, hourly, daily. It works better on the higher time frames, but yeah, I really like that. That's really cool. And yeah, when you get those tight risk to reward trades and you get a pivot, that can really help your bottom line in terms of trading.
Oh yeah, big time. When there's confluence going on there as well. I like the break and retest setup. I just absolutely love it. But it's literally everywhere. I don't know how else to say it. I don't know why these are respected so much, but look.
You're grabbing the impulse wave. You're starting from the high, measuring to the low, and then you get your Fibonacci levels. And then
dude, they're
do you look for any confirmation, like a candlestick, maybe like a shooting star or like a hammer candle?
Yeah, so with everything I do, I at least if we're talking on the daily time frame, I like taking trades off the daily and the hourly. I like to have a candlestick to risk. Let me just over here on, you come over here to SPY. Now, I didn't end up taking this, but you had a perfect hammer candlestick coming off of the low right here. So if you didn't want to risk the whole golden pocket here, because if you start losing the zone, then guess what? You're probably coming all the way down here. So you can put two and two together. Yeah, you're probably about to suffer 75 to a dollar, 75 cents to a dollar loss there if you were to hold. But you can see you have again, I didn't take this. I took a complete step back yesterday. I am working on, getting my footing in this market because I'm seeing setups like crazy, and I'm not taking any of them. Another one is just D-King over here, one absolute berserker. It's just something, dude. I want to take the freaking I wanted 36 calls yesterday, and I told the Discord I'm just going to be taking a step back. I am going to be, just chilling. It's. But this is what I'm talking about. So I like seeing, maybe you're not going to be getting, the best risk reward on this, but I like something like a candlestick to risk off of. Like you had the breakout candle right here, so you would have put your, stop underneath there. And it's just real simple.
Real simple. What's nice though about breakouts is it has the retest. So if DraftKings maybe comes back into that 33.50 area and it starts to hold, that could potentially be a reload long. So that's what's nice about breakouts. If you missed it on the way out, you can catch it on the way back in.
Oh, I got a perfect example of what we had to. We've been running this back. I decided not to. You're long this right now?
Yeah, I'm just long shares. Okay. I'm long 15 shares, which is
that's freaking that's beautiful. Yeah. This is something that we got to play. I think it was 3 times, and it's just because we kept getting right down here. We knew something was loading here. I took my guess here. I'm not gonna call this. You didn't really have anything to risk off of here, but I will say you had you had support. So if you broke support, you could have been put 2 and 2 together there.
I want to add to something on Celsius. This is actually a really important stock. My mentor, Brandon Carter, he's a YouTuber on YouTube. Check out Brandon.
He's massive.
Yeah, he's really cool. He loves Celsius, and your analysis and I use that analysis as well, where you brought the stock chart up to me. I was like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. And we made a crap ton of money off of this. And so
there we go.
Reason why I wanted to reach out to you. I was like, Celsius, thank you so much.
There we go. Dude, it's beautiful. It does not look like it's gonna stop. It's the same setup as over here on SMCI. This is what you're just talking about, the retest. Okay. You had this base going on. It was building out here. If you missed, your action right there, guess what? You literally pulled back, and this is actually, I'm seeing it right here. You had a golden pocket test right there.
Beautiful.
I love seeing the confluence, man. I love it so much. But yeah, you literally, if you missed your big old move right here, on your, short dated cons, there you go. start, loading up for a swing position on the retest. Get to do that, and I'm sure. Again, we're probably going to see some conflict. Oh, what happened?
More and a retest of the the trend line, the pennant.
I hate how perfect it is. I love it though so much. Like, look at this. This is ridiculous. You retest
volume on the breakout too, the green volume, and you also have confirmation of the trend. So notice how that's an RSI, right? The RSI.
Yeah.
And the S&P
yeah.
Higher highs. And
this thing looks absolutely beautiful.
Highs, that's confirming the uptrend.
Oh yeah. On the weekly time frame, this is what I was watching.
Not as much, but yeah, a little.
Yeah, I like this. Yeah, I don't know if you saw
280 though. As long as it holds 280, it's good to go.
Yeah, I mean, I think, dude, I don't know if these chips are gonna even be pulling back anytime soon. They're going insane.
Yeah,
I'm serious. I like, I put a target out here on NVIDIA for, what was it? I think it was literally 535 and 540 or something like that. No, this thing's absolutely just ripping fate. You're having another $100 move here. Like, everyone thought this was crazy. You literally just had. This is a $200 move.
The all-time high breakout setup, if you have a coil in front of it, it really tends to give a lot of follow-through. Back in 2020, 2021, I was trading NVIDIA calls like crazy before the split, and those all-time high breakout setups would make my month of trading.
Oh my, dude, yeah, you gotta show me some of your setups. That's what you were telling me. You did a bunch of option strategies. I can't say I'm a huge, I'm not versed in that world, but I would really, I would appreciate and love to learn about some of your, what you guys do over there.
Yeah.
And your option strategies.
Pretty much everything, options, futures, investing, swing trading. I do less day trading nowadays, just because. I got to help a lot of people in the Legion, and I'm happy to do so. Yeah, swing trades, options trades. Butterflies are really cool. Like, you can get some great risk reward trades on butterflies, and they're not super expensive. So that's something to think about as well. But yeah, we got the little inverted.
Yeah, I got to learn about them first. I'm going to be honest there. I I know the basics, but I can't say I've ever done these. Never actually tried them myself.
Pretty cool. It's a lot of fun. It does rack up the commissions a little bit more, but you just adjust by taking a smaller position size and using a wider stop and a wider take profit.
Yeah. Okay. I'd be interested in that.
Man, Henry, this is awesome. So I also just want to talk. I want to get to know you a little bit more too. So what's your typical daily routine? Because you're pumping out videos, you're working hard, you're an analyst, you're a trader. What's a typical day for you? Like a typical Monday or even today, Tuesday. What are you doing after this? You wake up, you trade?
Yeah, so I wake up, I do my, morning thing. Everyone gets ready in the morning. I do that. I end up, I don't drink coffee. So there's that. I just kind of get up and get going with my dogs. So we try and get we do we're going to say 3 to 4 mile hike. It's been super cold, so I've been 100%. It's been 3 miles every single day.
I'm in Minnesota. It's 2 degrees.
It's got to be cold over there. Yeah, it's got to be way colder there now that I think about that. Yeah, I'm over in CT, so it's not that cold, but it's still 20 degrees out right now. So colder for me. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's been snow on the trails and stuff recently. My dog's been loving it. But so we start that off. I try and get that done and then the gym done before market open. It really does depend, what time I'm going to sleep.
I'm curious.
So I actually think I solved my back pain recently. I started eating a pound of meat each night. I want to say it's been about a week, and I have not had back pain since. And I can't freaking believe that, because I've been struggling with just chronic back pain on the left side. It's been years. I was, in 2020, I didn't really know, before the whole real estate thing, I didn't know what I was doing with my life, so I was trained to go into the military, and I ended up, I don't know what the heck I did to my shoulder / trap / back, something real bad. I've been through PT, I think it's been about 3 times just for the back over the past 2 years, and then, I've consistently gone back to the chiropractor. But recently, guys, I swear to God, if you just eat, just make sure you have, way too much protein in your system, your pain might actually go away, because doctors didn't know what to tell me. I've had to train differently. I haven't been able to actually like hit back like in the way I've wanted to. Just yeah, I haven't felt an actual back pump in years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, dude, I
Old
can't
school.
believe. Yeah, so I'm gonna tell you how I train, but it's gonna sound stupid. But it's because I can't push the back or the shoulder.
Yeah. Then I
So
completely agree though. Like, see, my mentor Brandon Carter, he does keto, and that's really low in carbs and high in protein, and he feels great. It just keeps that inflammation down. You're sharp. You're ready to go each and every day. And
dude, that's
I agree.
crazy
Like,
that
I love protein.
that. So you're like close with Brandon Carter at this
Oh yeah,
point. You're
we post
like,
each other all the time.
holy,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
fun.
that's crazy. Or
He's a
listen,
really nice guy.
before any stock or anything, like before, back in high school, when I was growing up, he was the guy I'd be watching on YouTube for calisthenics and, again, keto and stuff like that. And then I think it was intermittent fasting. I've been doing that
Yeah, me too.
for years and years and years. I'm pretty positive I got it directly from his videos, the intermittent fasting, the whole idea of, don't eat, just have your 2 to 4 hour window, whatever it may be.
Yeah, he's a
That's insane
pioneer
to
in the
me.
space. Like he's actually what helped me and Romulus start the Legion together. So he's a really nice guy.
Holy cow,
Yeah,
man.
that's all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
that's crazy. That's small world.
Yeah,
Very
totally.
small
Very
world there.
small world. But it all
Wow.
ties into trading and investing because if you're feeling good, then you can think clearly and then you can, trade the markets. Look at that candlestick right there on the SPY. Little short
Oh yeah, I'm
stop.
seeing that. So that was actually why I started. I don't know if you see my screen. I started drawing these. I'm looking for a pullback here, and if we could
Yeah,
just
that
come
looks
back, and it's gonna literally set up a right shoulder from this inverse head and shoulders.
yeah, this looks
All
like
right,
it's
you
a
already broke out from run down here. It's looking. I think this looks great. I'm just saying for the time being. All right, you got back above your supply zone here. If you could pull back and then push above here, you'll have some bull structure going on there, and you probably do end up pushing back up to the high. But as of right now, guys, look, you literally broke out of this, bullish falling wedge. You held the zone you needed to hold. This was your breakout zone. You also held the
make a
golden
break.
pocket. Like, too much confluence going on here.
It needs to
I think a
hold
lot of people are looking for
472,
the.
I'd say, and then it's still bullish as long as it's above that like 472 on the hourly. But then
Yeah.
if it does take out that confluence area 471 zone, then it could be a little bit more bearish. What I'm actually looking at though for the SPY, a big sector of the SPY is XLF. So can you pull up XLF, please? I want
Ooh.
to see
Yeah. Honestly,
financials
I
are
want to be
starting
watching
to.
these.
So financials, I'm neutral slash bearish over the next few weeks and months on financials, and it trades calls and puts really, really well. But that's the only thing that I see potentially, holding down the SPY is the
I'd say
financial
this
sector.
looks awful. And for the time being, this does not look bullish to me.
Yeah, it's not.
It
It's
looks
not
like
like
you're
it's
you're
not
putting in a
super
top.
bearish, but it's not bullish either.
Yeah, I think you're literally just dancing around here like you've done in, past times here, where you're probably about to take out the slow. It looks like you're about to take out the slow, and once
Yeah,
that happens,
as of
you got
right now.
absolutely nothing for a very long time.
Yeah, thin structure, as they say. Low volume
Yeah,
rally.
well, let's just look at what I think the analog chart is to this, which I'm glad you pulled this up.
Yeah, IWM.
IWM. It literally started just, kind of doing the same thing. You finally lost that low. All right, that was, if we come over to XLF, do we have a trend line going on
There's
here?
also a lot of financials in IWM, so that's a big component of IWM. You'll see correlation between XLF and IWM.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, IWM, all these small caps, I had a lot of long setups I've been watching on just a bunch of these small caps. IWM was just not being supported for them.
Yeah.
Got to have the supportive market behind these things.
Yep.
Yeah, this thing looks like it's about to break down. I cannot deny that one.
But the entry for the
literally-
short is kind of tricky. I've been short 100 shares and I've been selling puts as kind of like a cash flow type of strategy. But the entry's tricky.
Yeah.
You kind of got to get that that 3750 area, or you got to let it base for a bit and then you can short a breakdown.
Yeah, I would like real short entry I could see here. You do that, or you end up taking out that low, and then you could, play
definitely.
half size on the breakout. Then you could also do that.
Yeah.
IWM, right? You literally did end up dancing around here, so we literally could see something like that set up. If that's going to be the case, that means SPY's going to do what we were talking about earlier. This chop city up here, the trappy market, it's probably going to do this for a little while longer.
Yeah. And we could set up something like an iron condor. That was one of my trade ideas this morning. And basically just an iron condor is you set the range that the market is going to stay between. And if it stays within that range by the expiration, you get 100% profit. So it's pretty cool.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
condors are always a way to make money. I usually like them on like SPY or something liquid like Apple. And then boom, it's 100% profit if it stays beneath a certain level and above a certain level. And that's good job. Yeah, TSC, nice higher low.
Can you on butterflies, can you like, do you have to use like a set expiration, or can you go further out?
Yeah, you can go.
Actually, that wouldn't benefit you, right? With a butterfly.
Here, no, you can. It just takes longer to mature. So what's cool about a butterfly is like it's a credit spread and a debit spread together, and the middle strike, if price lands at the double strike that you're selling, you get fat ass profits. It's really cool. Like you can do a lot of trades where you risk $100 to make 1,000. And I can't tell you the amount of times I pull it off for $300, $400, $500. Like it's really nice, especially for SPY and QQQ because they're really liquid.
Yeah. Can you go like far out in expiration though, and then have like a very wide range, and it would still pay you that? Oh, that's example, that's.
I should pull. I'm gonna pull up my account. I've got a QQQ put butterfly. It's slightly underwater right now, but it's basically break even. It's March, so it's March expiration. I'm +1 on the 395 put, so I'm long the 395 put. I'm selling 2 of the 385 puts. So that means I want the Qs to kind of end up near 385. And then to protect, I'm buying the 375. So it sounds like a bunch of jargon, but really right now it's only worth like $56 right now. But $56 can turn into 1,000 if QQQ lands between that kind of like 395 to 385 area.
Oh, yeah, this is what I was saying. I would love to, watch how you guys do things for a little while and actually learn some of these strats. So I can't say I do any of those. I just strictly follow these charts.
That actually gets me into my next question. So you've mostly been trading options. You started off more so as an investor with dollar cost averaging into the SPY. But then you got into options. You're longing calls and puts, I'm assuming. But how's your like trading style evolved, whether it be in the things that you trade? What are some things that you've learned over the years when it comes to just style of trading?
Yeah, so I mean, at first I actually started back in 2021, and I was just getting into everything. I was telling we were trading that crazy market, and then I was just exploring patterns, and I remember feeling like a genius for this one, and then I realized it was not at all a genius. This is not at all because of the pattern, but at the time I was playing the pattern. I remember it. Oh yeah, it played a part, but then I saw the whatever it was called, the ape movement going on, and I was like, oh, this is GME 2.0 here. Oh my god. And this ended up, this was a thing. So back in the day when I got into options, I was 100% just YOLO. I'm just going to 100% say that. I remember taking I had a 2.5K account, and I, had YOLO'd, I want to say it was somewhere around here, and I had missed it. And so I had caught like this little thing. I was like, holy crap, that's like, quick money right there. It pulled back, and I remember that there were 3-week out options that I had gotten into somewhere around this top. So, I played that little thing and did that. And then at that point, it dipped, and I saw like, 2.5K go to like $1,000. And I was like, holy. That's awesome. What did you do? So I freaking not so awesome.
Oh, 2.5K into 1,000. Sorry.
So I was like, holy Jesus, this is not okay. Not okay. Because up until this point, I was not just, randomly gambling like that. I was just like, I was, trying to do the right thing, what I thought was the right thing. But I was like, oh, holy cow, this is the opportunity of a lifetime. It was like, I see the ape movement going on, So I prayed. I literally prayed, and it was on this day right here that I prayed. It was at like $1,000 or something like that. It was in the, at the restaurant I worked at, Antonia's restaurant, just in their basement. Just like, God, please help me. Like, I don't know what I did. I made a really freaking stupid decision. This was, money I didn't want to lose. And then this happened, and we started just moving. And at this point, AMC was at like $10, whatever it was down here. It was not, pre-split. And then, every single day my account would double. And then I got all the money back somewhere. I think it was on this day. And then, again, it just kept doubling. And I was in college at the time.
Nice.
It was actually during finals. And it was this day right here where I had pretty much just kept going in and out of these short-term options. Anytime I saw my options running in the money, because, the options, they're going to move less if they're in the money, I would trade them out for further out the money. So then they had the $40 calls at some point. We were around $20.
They made
and I was like, okay.
Like every day.
Oh, dude, I remember that. They added the 70s at one point. I had to, dive into these, when they did that, I was like, okay, let's get into the 60s. Those are going to run into money. Regardless, it was like, here it's like 1,000 to 2,000 to 4,000 to 15,000 to like 50,000. You got this pullback, and then you had this day, and it was like 300 something $1,000. And I was it was during COVID, so I was taking a final, and I pretty much had closed. I had started going nuts on camera. We were just literally taking a final. I think it was for accounting or something like that. Some sort of accounting class. Maybe it was econ.
I'm just curious.
So I was a accounting major,
Oh, nice.
and then so I was accounting/finance major. So that is that. I didn't end up finishing college. This was the day I ended up deciding, like, hey, all right, I'm not gonna go through with that. I think about 2 years in at this point. But yeah, I had looked down and I had made like 100-something thousand that day, and it was 2.5K into $330,000 at a high over here.
Wow.
And I had sold, and I remember it was this day right here that was like, okay, I'm like, I told my friend, I was like, hey, we're gonna go away for like a month. I'm gonna pay for it all as long as I can get this account to $500,000. And then I ended up taking like 100-something K loss all in one day. So that was, 100%. I lost the money.
That next level, to get to that point of 500K, you actually do have to risk a good chunk of your profits, and it just didn't work out the second time around, right?
Oh yeah, because these had one day on their expiration, and I literally remember, just seeing that, and then it popped up the next day. I was like kind of pissed about it. But yeah, so I ended up going into 1 day expiration calls over here, and it was the easiest, like, minus 150K day of my life. And then
what was going through your mind that day?
It was Rocket Man by Elton John. Right. It was like, oh, things are, holy cow. They weren't this good before, but now they're amazing. That was pretty much that. But over the next couple months, I just pretty much, dove into the options game and the short-term options, I would say. And that is where I would say, like, I had a good amount of money to learn this game. And a lot of people don't. They just get to lose their own hard-earned money from that point. And then it's like...
You got to really follow a process if you don't have those big wins and stuff like that. But... AMC and GME were, pivotal points for my channel, and I was live streaming them. And we were actually really on top of the squeeze. I got a lot of hate though when I said, "Hey, you guys, this is the squeeze. This is likely the top." Come on, Greg. Movement. I'm like, no, this is just like a normal trade for me. And I sold, and then it dropped. But yeah, that was an epic time, and that got a lot of people into the stock market, trading and investing. And it's cool to see just new faces in the space. I've been trading and investing for 8 years, and there's like a very few YouTubers, very few courses. And so it's kind of like a lonely space, but now there's a bunch of cool people popping up.
Yeah, I mean, this is literally what got me addicted to options. So, I mean, I saw that, I remember doing the math, and I was like, holy cow, I will, even if I'm making 100K a year fresh out of college, it will, saving the 50K a year, it literally still will take 6 years to, do that. Here, let me let my dogs out real quick. Try to start parking or something.
What I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to quickly analyze the markets. I'm sure there are probably some viewers from your channel and some from mine. So I'm going to be doing that while he's gone. So right
Oh,
here.
I'm back right here.
Yep. So right here, SPY, 470. That's going to be a critical spot. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this black. Cool. We got
Yeah,
on balance
I'll be
volume
back
and
in
money
2 minutes.
flow. Yeah. Uber, that was a good setup. Meta looks strong. Rates are starting to move higher, so bonds might become a little bit better of a deal. Solar kind of getting clapped still. Disney kind of just flirting around in that zone. NASDAQ does look bullish, especially if it holds above 411.25 QQQ. That's like a short-term level to hold. I am still long oil, and oil is breaking up. So USO, I'll have to ask Henry about oil. That'll be interesting. But USO over about 70, that could be pretty good. Got Microsoft. Not too much there. Microsoft is a stronger tech name. Got Netflix. Netflix forecast is kind of just neutral on that one. You know, the trends look a bit more sideways. Yeah, the 10-year though,
Righty.
starting to move. Oh, welcome back, Henry. So do you analyze and look at bonds a lot? I actually have been really enjoying the bond trades. Yeah, TLT last year was a really good year for trading bonds. We were dollar cost averaging TLT as it was going down. And what's cool about TLT and like IEF is that they pay monthly dividends. So you get cash right into your account each and every month. And they pay between 4 to 6% depending on the rates a year, which is pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So you
Yeah, I did not know that.
And the shares, think of it as kind of like a cash placeholder. And that's what I do with my leftover cash in my trading accounts. Just throw them in TLT and IEF.
But yeah, that's I just I want to get to a point where I'm literally just funneling everything into just long term.
Yeah.
At and literally companies like Tesla. Like I got savings. I'm not messing with that.
Yeah.
So we're just leaving that. But I do want to literally just get to a point where we are, just anybody could do it. Literally, it's beyond obvious some of these entry points where if you're a long-term investor, if you're a working man, you have savings on the side, you can literally just continuously, just multiply your money over here. You continuously get these opportunities on big guys like Mr. Apple over here. You had this rip again with these just golden pockets where, you're probably going to be seeing buyers step in when you got a ton of confidence. You see the oversold RSI. This is this is where your mom and pop investors should, or they could. I'm not gonna say should because most people don't even look at the market. In the manner we do, I guess.
I want to add too, Henry. Do you know about the yield max versions of these? So, for example, on Tesla, type in TSLY. So this is basically what they do is they sell covered calls on Tesla. It's a big downtrend right now, but that downtrend is created from the dividend payout. So every month it pays a dividend. I forget the exact percentage, but it's a really fat dividend. And it gaps down when it pays the dividend. But if you like Tesla, what happens is you can buy this and then you get paid out monthly. You can do this.
It's a 5% dividend. Yeah. That's a high one.
And that's pretty good. That's 60 cents a share. So you get you have 100 shares. Boom. If another thing too is there's like APLY, there's MSFY. So these are all the yield max versions of these stocks.
Apple.
So this is if you want to have income on those large caps, and it's a really good way to do a position trade. I hold a decent amount of GOOY, GOOY. So I'm kind of like invested in Google, but I get paid as I hold Google. So GOOY, pretty interesting. They have a mixture of bond funds and they also sell covered calls. So it's kind of like an income type of strategy. And it's good for if you have a medium term time horizon. Maybe not so much for the long term, but just an idea.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I actually had no idea these actually existed. I had no idea.
There's QYLD for the QQQ. There's IWMY if you want to get cash flow from the IWM. It's pretty cool. And it's one of those things where you don't really chart it. You chart out the underlying. And then what these do is they outperform if the underlying goes sideways or slightly lower. It slightly underperforms if the underlying goes straight up. So like, let's say Tesla goes to like $500 a share. You would have been better off just investing in Tesla instead of TSLY, but you'd still make money on TSLY. So
is it because like even if it trades sideways, they'll keep paying you out, right?
Yeah,
That's why it
pays
beats
you even
it.
more if the underlying goes sideways. Think it's like straight cash if the underlying goes sideways, or even slightly lower or slightly higher, which is pretty cool.
Look at that, guys. Look at that. We got the pullback. I can't say this thing's not looking really freaking bullish right now. You got Apple breaking out from the double bottom. This is
Apple got upgraded today, I believe. That's why.
Oh, that's what's going on. Okay. Apple's about to move this market.
Shock, yeah. Nvidia screaming. It's tricky.
Yeah, I'm blown away by these these texts.
It's like you can buy high and sell higher, but it's tricky to place your stop. That's the only thing.
Yeah, that's why I haven't even partaken in any of these. There's no setup there. It just goes straight up. But that's what I'm talking about the long term. I want to just get to, where we are literally just throwing, a set amount of money into an account so we can just boom, bop, bing, boop, pow. I could do that. I am just, I don't want to mess with savings. I am moving out in April, so I am just getting ready for all of that. We'll have a better time with that.
No, definitely. That'll be exciting. And you always want to have like a certain amount of like cash in your savings account because you want to have that sleep good number. Like everybody has of cash that they need because that's like your emergency fund. It's you want good liquidity for
it gives you a peace of mind. That's all I'm saying, guys. If you're in the stock market, have your peace of mind because the stock market might not bring that most of the time.
Yeah, sometimes the stock market can, it can breed a lot of FOMO, sometimes anxiety, and managing those emotions is a whole other aspect that I think needs to be talked about more sometimes on YouTube, but also TA is pretty fun.
Oh, TA is, TA lays the groundwork, but that's why on my channel, I think I've been gaining some steam just because I've been so open, just connecting with the people probably relate.
Yeah.
Been in a really trappy market recently. I've been, talking about guys, if you are getting frustrated, you 100% are doing something wrong. Like, it is a trappy market, but it's not, like, the market's never going to be your enemy or your friend. It's the market. And, like the skill set we were talking about earlier, it's something that you need to practice. Like, you need to build up that I guess we're going to call it the discipline muscle.
Yeah.
Of just, like I had to take a step back. I didn't want to lose any more money. Plus, there's people in the Discord that probably just want trades. I'm like, I'm not going to lose my own money if I see I am doing things wrong. It's not going to happen.
Leads me into my next question, Henry, is, when you put out technical analysis on YouTube, people are looking for trades and they're going to hang on every word that you say. Some people will go like all in just because you say, yeah, I like the setup. What is some of the hardest things about trading, but more so on the YouTube side of things? I know that I've personally been focusing on the Legion and the business side of things just because, people can sometimes get weird on YouTube. That if like there's like a setup, it's just a setup. And then if it like doesn't work, somebody, they go weird and crazy in the comments. What's your experience with that? Like what's some of the hardest parts of YouTube?
I will tell you right now, the hardest part about YouTube is you get praise, and then the second you, like literally what you just said, like I just started integrating the setups that I was paying attention to into my channel, because I think, it started, people wanted to see that, so I was like, okay, and I wasn't seeing a lot set up on the indices for a while, so I was just like, okay, we're gonna, go where the party is.
Yeah.
And then the party left. And then people didn't want to, acknowledge that, there are risk levels talked about. It is a setup. Yeah. It is literally like, it needs to hold here or it's not gonna be a setup anymore. It was the same thing over here on Neo. I've been asked to cover Neo every day on Twitter, YouTube, and in Twitter DMs for, I don't know, since this thing started breaking, since I called it out over here, I called out the break and retest. Yeah, we're getting our second run at it.
Break and retest. That's a setup up until it breaks that retest level. And I actually went short China stocks during that time period. And it's one of those things where it's like, I love when somebody puts their work out there, whether it's right or wrong. Like this is just like one like example of like where I really appreciate just consistency and putting TA out there. What I really want to get at though is like, you know, when you're out on YouTube, you're doing this for free. You're helping people out, and the charts are constantly evolving. That's something that people really, really need to understand. Like something might be a setup one day, but then literally like an hour or two later, boom, it's completely gone. And I think people should think of a technical analyst as like a weatherman. Like, yeah, you don't like it when the weatherman, you know, predicts the wrong weather, but he can't control the weather. He's just, you know, using, you know, he's using his tools to predict it, and he predicts it accurately most of the time.
Oh yeah. But it's yeah, that's really it, dude. You get a lot of praise from pretty much everyone, and then like you know, I don't even want to talk about the haters, but like the haters will come out, you know, and then they're gone. They're gone when, you know, you're doing good. And then, you know, you get less praise if you have, you know, like literally what we're just talking about, all right? The party left. It was not in the small caps anymore. That was, you know, a lot of the setups I was highlighting were over there, but then you have things like, you know, over the past few weeks, they were not acknowledging the things that have been working. And, you know, you have those, and then like when, you know, what you're just saying, people will go all in. I'm guessing people will go all in on some of these, and they get really mad, and then it doesn't matter about the next setup that's working because they, you know, aren't playing that. They're still in, from at least what I see, you know, I think a lot of people are bag holding on China, and you know, they don't care about the setups we're talking about that, you know, did end up working out this week. Exactly. What do we have over here? We had.
And what I've found too is like, I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong. I was like, yeah, I was wrong. I was bearish the market and the market went higher. But that was just one part, you know, like what about the oil trades? What about the gold trades? What about these individual stock trades? Like there's always another setup. So if you get something wrong, it's not a big deal. Yeah, that's the way I'd put it.
Yeah, so that's basically it. But like, you know, for some people, it does become the big deal. And that's like, what, you know, a lot of. Oh yeah, a lot of people just focus on the technical analysis, but in reality, it is, you know, the only thing that's going to determine your longevity in this game is like, can you not lose your money? Like, can you, you know, like while you're learning, can you not lose all of your money? And then, you know, can you, yeah, pretty much, can you apply the risk reward in every single trade? And if you can't, over time, it doesn't matter if you get some big wins, it's not going to work. It just wouldn't.
You got to protect your capital, and you got to constantly be improving. You got to find out what went well, what didn't work well, what can I learn from this? And yeah, you know, technical analysis is great. It's not the full story though. You know, there's breadth, there's fundamental analysis, there's sentiment analysis, there's geopolitical events. And so there's so many things that move the market. Obviously, supply and demand is a result of all those factors. But TA is it's like the 80-20 rule. It gets the majority of the work done, but it's not everything. And so that's why people need to understand that aspect of things as well.
Yeah, 100%. So that's really, I would say that's the, you know, hard part there is just knowing that people are, and I feel bad, like, you know, that's the thing that I try not to feel bad about because it's going to affect me.
It's tough.
Like, you know, guys, if you got something going on outside of your life, like outside of trading, it's going to affect your trading. If you got something going on with your trading, it's going to affect the outside of your life. Like, it's, you know, it all works together. And that's just what you know, I feel bad. You know, I was like, guys, China, all right, China, they're looking good. They ended up dying. Every single China ticker I pointed out, they died.
There was value at that point in time, but then it changed. That's all.
Oh, yeah, exactly that. It was, yeah, I would say that is really the only hard part about YouTube. Other than that, I honestly appreciate the living crap out of just having a community that is just, you know, supportive. I don't know anybody else in my life who seeks that, I guess we could say.
Yeah, no.
You know, or gets that.
I resonate with that as well. People, the positive aspects of it heavily outweigh, and regardless, you gotta just keep putting yourself out there. That's the only way to continuously get better, to grow your following, to do your subscribers. properly, is just keep putting yourself out there. Don't let the haters get to you, and praise the people that show up every day. Like their comment, reply to their comments, and I think that goes a long way.
Yeah. I wanted to make a free Discord at one point, but then I realized like it's got to get everybody in there, and at that point I'm going to have to put my own time into moderating the thing, or I'm going to have to get a moderator. And so that's I end up not doing that, but that was kind of the idea. I was like, okay, so let's be able to talk to everybody and stuff like that. Yeah, no, honestly, I like YouTube. As long as honestly, it goes for anything in life. And honestly, if anybody wants to make it on YouTube, you just have to show up and just intentful. You have to show up with intent. You cannot practice without intent and just randomly be doing that. In the market as well, you can't just show up and gamble. All right, you have to show up and you have to try and build that skill set. And at the end of the day, that discipline, it's a muscle. It's the same thing as growing something in the gym. It's going to get better over time. But if you don't sit there, intensely going to the gym, growing every single session, little by little, that it's not going to work. And YouTube, anybody can make it on YouTube. I was I wasn't getting any traction for a while. It was I swear I would be putting out videos, I would not get people, and then I'd lose people. I'd be like, oh crap, this video is bad.
How long did it take you to get your first 1,000 subscribers? It took me a year and a half of posting.
Oh, dude, I hit 1,000 pretty much exactly 1 year ago. Okay. It was last Christmas, so not like this. I guess last Christmas is not too long ago, but last Christmas. And then I hit, I want to say it was I think we were around 4K on Christmas, and then I quickly shot up to 5K. It was,
around 3.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was literally recently we have shot up, and I have not seen every video we're getting 20 to 80 new people every video.
That's awesome.
Which is just, I haven't seen that growth. The algo is definitely but that's what I'm saying. Just show up. The algorithm will reward you eventually. Doesn't matter what you're doing.
Stay consistent. I like your thumbnails. I like how you got a routine. I like how you open it up, ladies and gents. That's awesome. That's good.
I don't know. I've gotten just used to just talk. I swear, I entered a sales role over at Cellular Sales, Verizon Cellular Sales, and I could say just talking to people was it was much harder than I thought it was going to be, because you got to sit with people for a decent amount of time, when people are getting into new phones or whatever. And I thought YouTube would go over to that. No, it's much easier to talk to my people over here on YouTube than sit there talking to a random person and just doing that. So I don't know. I've gotten really comfy, I guess, with the community. That's what I say. Yeah, I appreciate YouTube so much for that.
Shout out to the subscribers. Comment below.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I if we were live, 100%, there would be a decent amount of people. I think there would be a decent amount of people, because I mentioned it in the live stream yesterday morning. I actually saw you. I was like, holy cow, that's funny.
All right, Henry, we've got about 1 minute left. Do you have any last words? Anything else on your mind? This is a great talk, by the way. We can always do it again sometime if you want.
Yeah, dude, I love this. This is, like I said, I don't have many friends in this space at this point in time. I've got a few on Twitter. Very glad to have you. Very glad to, have you have reached out, because, again, I was just I'm like an introvert, so this is it's pretty cool. Guys, just keep going. I look forward to what we have, coming, the future. I think it's going to be very bright. And, yeah, I'd love to do this again, man.
Hell yeah. And guys, if you're listening on my channel, go over and give Henry James a subscribe on YouTube. You guys can see that right over here. Let me pull it up. And yeah.
Cool. Yeah, my subscribers will definitely, they'll go over to your channel. You got some good stuff. I was checking you out.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I saw you were live streaming your trading. I like that, man. I want to see a lot of that.
That's pretty difficult, but I enjoy it. I enjoy the challenge. All right, you guys.
Oh yeah.
Give Henry James a follow. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Alrighty.